In this video, we're going to be talking about why ideas should never go on your to-do list. So a mistake I've made for years is taking ideas and putting them on my to-do list. And this has been a wide variety of ideas, right? So a good example would be for this YouTube channel. I'm constantly coming up with new ideas, and those ideas go onto a list, or a new app to build, or a new tool to build, or a free giveaway, or something that I think would be a good idea, but I'm not necessarily ready to pursue right now. Now, the way that I typically handle this would be to create a project or create a task that has a big list of things that are my ideas, and then I put that into my primary productivity software. But one of the things that I realized is that, first off, the vast majority of all of these ideas were things that I was never going to pursue. There would be a wide variety of reasons for this. One, maybe I didn't have time, or two, maybe it just wasn't worth pursuing, or just number three, it just wasn't something I was just supposed to be doing at that time. Now, a very small percentage of those did become ideas that were put into practice, that became projects and were primary drivers within my productivity software. A good example of that is Radarist, which is a project that I've been pursuing for a couple of years now, and that I talk about now in almost every video that I make. But beyond that, there are a number of reasons why I learned, and why I wanted to share with you today, of why you should never put ideas in your to-do list or productivity software. First, it makes the list of the things that you need to get done very messy and very disorganized. What you're going to find, as I did, is that you're going to have to start sorting your ideas from the things that you actually need to get done. If you've got a list of projects that are for clients, there is no option about whether or not you do those. If you start mixing those in with your ideas, you're going to find that you're just wasting time sorting through the cruft, or the stuff that you don't necessarily have to get done, and it's just going to slow you down. And that little bit of focus that you're losing every single day, or several times a day, is going to add up over time. And what you're going to see is that that's going to add to more stress, and it's just going to slow you down. Another big reason is that ideas are gigantic time wasters. And the reason that they're time wasters is because all of us have ideas. But the problem is that coming up with the idea isn't difficult at all. The difficulty is knowing which ideas are worth pursuing and which ones are worth setting aside. If you're like me and you come up with a lot of ideas, you're going to find that a lot of those ideas go out the window. That's not to say that coming up with new ideas is bad. Particularly if you are a content creator of any kind, it is imperative that you're coming up with new ideas. The key is coming up with a way to quickly go through, narrow down, and prune that list of ideas without it becoming a distraction, without it weighing down your time, effort, focus, or energy of the daily things that you have to get done. So what I wanted to do really quickly was just give you a behind the scenes look of how I currently manage my ideas and how I've separated them from my main projects in my productivity software. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a quick look at how I differentiate and organize ideas as opposed to tasks or projects or action items, I guess, as you could call them. So what I do is I use an app called Reflect, and I will go ahead and leave a link in the description to this app, but it's just a simple nested note-taking web app, and it works really well for managing things that you're planning out, and I would argue probably not as well at actually managing a real project or productivity type workflow, but for writing and organizing links and or ideas, it works great. So what I typically do is I've just got this note called TMTV video ideas, and I just pop them up in here periodically. I'm constantly coming up with new ideas for videos. And so what I do is I just pop it in here with a title and go from there. So let's take a look at one of these. And so I've just got this template that automatically generates this. So actually it would probably be better. So I'll just go back and I'll show you what it would look like if I were just to add a new idea. So here is a new video idea. So I go ahead and I type that, create a new note, click on it, and then I've just got this template, right? So I just type YouTube video and it fills out all of this information. And so I put in my research keyword, my ranking, my description, and I just start going through and outlining what that video is going to be about. Okay, but if I go back to this, essentially we've got kind of three main phases here. So these are the ones that are completely ideas. And so I'll periodically go through here and maybe I'll even reorganize or reorder these. And even sometimes I'll have an idea I don't like at all. And so I will just delete it. And so what I do here is I take a video and I jump on over to Radarist. And of course, Radarist is where I'm managing all of my active projects. So these are things that actually need to get done. These are no longer ideas, these are things that I'm actually going to do. And so right now, the video that I'm working on, of course, is why ideas don't belong on your to-do list. So if you were to click on this project, you'd see that I've just got this series of steps that I need to do in order to get this done. And then within the notes section of the project, I just link over to my reflect note, which has all of the, the checklists. I've kind of got it repeated, so I don't really use it in this context anymore, but I've got my outline ready to go. And then of course I can always go back to, my list if I need to. But the idea here is I have taken this leap from the project being, or the idea being an idea into a project, right? So now it's got this series of tasks and it is showing up on my radar, so I know that it needs to get done. So what I do then is in this context, I will actually take it out of, this would be what I would consider kind of my idea section, and I'd pop it down into in process. And then once I finish it, I check it off and I pop it down into the done category. But there's no deadlines or anything assigned here. This is just kind of a rough list that I have so that I'm not cluttering up my radar with a ton of projects. I usually try to keep this at the absolute maximum of 3 videos. That way it doesn't clutter all the other things that I'm wanting to do. And then it also lets me kind of rearrange and order projects or videos by what I kind of think would do the best. But as one other quick little tidbit, what I wanted to do is just go ahead and show you my process real quick of how I go from creating an idea all the way to how it shows up on my radar, my process for that. So what I would do here, we've already kind of done this new video idea right here. So I've already kind of showed you this, so you get this. I'll just do it again just for the sake of this example, /YouTube. Got that nice template. And again, Reflect has a lot of notes and tutorials and things on how to actually use their templates, so that's pretty easy to get up and running with. We'll go through here and start making an outline. This would be all my talking points for the video. The description would be the YouTube description, as well as what I send out in an email. Here is what the video is about. Then I would copy, then I do some keyword research. Which would be, something I use a plugin called TubeBuddy, which kind of shows me what keywords or topics rank well on YouTube. So I'd go through that, type out my topic keyword, how well it ranks, and that's a factor I will use for which videos I'll probably prioritize. But from there, what I'll do is I'll copy the title. So we just get that title. Then what I'll do is I'll go over to my templates in Radarist. You see I've got one made for YouTube Vid. I just click clone to project, and I've got a brand new project with all these steps involved. So what I do is go to edit, give it the title, go ahead and copy the link to this note, add it to a space, which will be where all my videos are, notes. So I've got that link to all the notes for this particular video. And there we go. And then once I've finished outlining it, then what I'll do is I'll pop in here, check that off, activate the next task, and then there we go. So hop back over to my radar, and you'll see it's now on that radar, and then I can kind of add it to whichever order I want to prioritize it amongst all of my videos. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful and or interesting for you. And if nothing else, hopefully it just gives you a different perspective of a way that you can differentiate between those daily drivers, those daily projects that you have to get done, and those other ones that maybe one day you want to get done. But as always, if you found this video useful, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to sign up for a free account to Radarist, my project and task management tool. Again, linked in the description. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.